Hey, friends all over the world. I come to you with the shocking truth about Squid Game, which is a Netflix series that, from my understanding, is the most popular series in the world right now. It's a Korean show. Now, in full disclaimer, I've never watched this show, but I do have a synopsis of what the show is about. And I want to tell you something very interesting about it. So essentially, Squid Game is a show, it's a Korean show with English subtitles that is about sort of a, not post-apocalyptic, but sort of, society where most people are poor, or there's a lot of poor people, like a dystopian kind of society where there's a lot of poor people. And these poor people are summoned to play a game or a series of children's game. We would call it like a red light, green light. Simon Says. So they're summoned to play this game, this contest where they're playing these children's games. And there's a financial prize in the billions of Korean currency, billions and billions of dollars is the prize for winning these games, right? And so everybody, they look at the money, they look at the finances associated with this, and everybody's, they're excited about playing it. They're saying, oh, we're going to win all this money, etc. So as they start to play the games, this is the synopsis. As they start to play the games, some of them try to cheat or they make mistakes in the games, and they basically get their heads blown off, their body blown to pieces. It's one of the most gory shows on television right now. One of the most gory and sadistic shows on television right now, and it's for that reason it's very popular. Now hear this. Not only does the Squid Game show speak to the depravity of the human condition, but it speaks to the sadistic nature of American culture, and the fact that because it's violent and because it's gory and because it's sadistic, people love it. It speaks to the depravity in our culture, right? It speaks to the fact that people love violence. They love death. They love destruction, right? They love seeing people be blown into pieces. But not only that, here's what I want to tell you the truth about this show. I hope you're ready for this, because this is really deep. The truth about this show, The Squid Game, is that's exactly what's happening right now. This show is in many ways a prophetic archetype of where we are right now as a society. Basically, there is a media machine, there is a political machine right now that is encouraging and coercing us to play the game of the culture, to play along, to play these games, to play these cultural games, to play these mind games, and to play these things. And watch this. If you don't play the game according to their rules, they seek to destroy you. It's happening right now. I'm not encouraging you to watch the show. Sorry about that. I'm not encouraging you to watch the show. I'm telling you that right now, in many ways, from a cultural perspective, we are in a Squid Game. And they're not divulging the rules. They're not telling you the consequences of not playing their game. But the consequences are dire. There is a spirit of manipulation in the earth right now. And I'm telling you, and let's just, hey, everybody play along. And we got the children's music playing in the background, and we got the la 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 la, the lullabies going on, and they're telling you, oh yeah, we're just gonna have these mandates. We're gonna have mandates. It's not that serious. It's just to protect everyone. But if you don't follow the rules, if you don't submit to their rules, if you don't play their game, they're seeking to destroy you. That's what we are. Let me tell you something. America is in a squid game right now. Right now. Right now. They promise you peace. They promise you safety. But there's something nefarious behind it. There's something diabolical behind their intentions. And they're not telling people the end game. They're not telling people what they're really all about. So we can look at this show, and of course there's a lot of evil associated with a show like that. But the whole premise of this is deception. The whole premise of this is to depopulate society, to use a carrot, a promise, hey, if you do this, you're going to get this. But in actuality, the goal is to kill you. The goal is to destroy you. The goal is to end your life. They in this show, they're basically using people as guinea pigs to feed their sadism, to feed their diabolical appetite. It's amazing how these shows in many ways are a representation of where we are in society today. It's a representation of the manipulation and the control. And here it is. This is how you use manipulation. You kill one person or two people or three people to force the others into submission. To force you to use death as a manipulation tool and say, listen, okay, these didn't do what we said, and look, they died. This person they didn't do what we told them to do, and look, they're dead. And if you don't do what we tell you to do, you're next. This is what's happening. If you don't comply with our rules, if you don't follow our rules, we're going to make an example out of you. That's essentially what's happening today. If you don't follow our rules, like the pastor that wouldn't close his church in Canada, you don't follow our rules, we're going to lock you up for 6 years. And guess what? Whoever else doesn't do this is next on the list. And so now people are being forced through fear into submission. They're being forced into a squid game. Hear me what I'm saying to you today. They're being forced into a squid game. They're being forced to submit to something against their will. Does this sound familiar, friends? Does this sound familiar? That the devil's trying to create a dystopian society, a fascist society based upon manipulation and control. And if you don't follow what they tell you to do, if you don't do what they tell you to do, there are dire consequences. That's what's happening right now. It's not entertainment. It's not TV. It's not a fictional narrative. This is real. It's happening right now. And some of you can't see it because just like the show Squid Game, it's under the guise, it's veiled as entertainment. It's veiled as a game show. It's veiled as something, something harmless. We're just going to play some harmless little kid games. Nobody's going to get hurt. But they don't tell you that the moment you make a false move, they're going to blow your head off. The moment you don't comply with their rules. See, it starts out like this. It starts out like this. Hey, we're just trying to, you know, we just need everybody's cooperation. So the sooner everybody cooperates, the sooner this will all be over. But it's a lie. It's a lie. It's not about everybody cooperating to help their fellow man. It's about control. It's about manipulation. It's about the removal of consciousness and the violation of your will, your rights. And that's why anybody who doesn't comply, who doesn't go along with the narrative, is ostracized, canceled, isolated, demonized, vilified, slandered. They print libel about the person. Do you see that this show is an archetype of what's happening in America and across the globe right now, and the spirit of Antichrist and the Antichrist agenda to use fear to dominate and control? What does it say in the book of Revelation? Whoever didn't take the mark of the beast could not buy or sell. And then people in Revelation who didn't comply were killed. They were martyred when they didn't comply to the Antichrist agenda. And here we are, friends. Here we are, friends. The devil's trying to bring us into a squid game. But let me tell you something. Number one, greater is he who is in you than he who is in the world. Number two, the devil has but a short time. Number three, God has seen the plans of the enemy and has already thwarted his plans. Stand fast and see the salvation of the Lord, and don't get caught up in a squid game. God bless you.